Palisades are drafting plans for the Duchess of Cornwall to take on a significantly greater role, and it is possible she could even be appointed to an elite group of senior royals who can carry out duties on behalf of the Queen. Her Majesty's decision to cancel all public engagements for at least the next fortnight, as she recovers from an unknown ailment, has raised concerns about a potential leadership gap at the head of the royal family if her illness persists or should the 95-year-old monarch be incapacitated in the future. So far, the Queen has continued to carry out her duties as head of state, despite having to reluctantly cancel a number of high-profile engagements over the past few weeks. The monarch is still receiving her daily red boxes of government documents. But constitutional experts last night expressed concern about the preparedness of the royal family if she becomes unable to fulfill the basic role of a head of state. Buckingham Palace says her medical team is simply taking sensible precautions, and Boris Johnson yesterday described the Queen as being on good form when they spoke last week. Significantly, however, sources say that Camilla, who was praised for a speech last week in which she called for more urgent action to tackle sexual violence against women, will be asked to help manage the workload. Under rules enshrined in law and detailed on the official royal website, 4 members of the family are currently entitled as councillors of state to take over from the Queen if she is unable to perform her duties, if, for example, she were abroad or unwell. These councillors are Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince Andrew, and Prince Harry, chosen because they are the 4 next in line to the throne and at least over the age of 18. This rules out William's children George, Charlotte, and Louis. But neither Prince Andrew, who is fighting sex claims lodged in the U.S., nor Prince Harry, who has quit official duties and now lives in California, are currently working members of the royal family. Vernon Bogdaner, the author of Monarchy and the Constitution and professor of government at King's College London, said, "A councillor not domiciled in the UK cannot act, so that excludes Harry. The next in line and over the required age of 21 would be Princess Beatrice. However, most of the functions of the head of state can be devolved. It is not, for example, constitutionally necessary for the Queen to attend the state opening of Parliament. 2 councillors of state are required to act together in a quorum to perform crucial functions, such as providing royal assent to bills passing through Parliament and appointing High Court judges. Without such assent, these functions of government cannot be enacted." Dr. Craig Prescott, a constitutional expert at Bangor University, said the current situation posed a potential problem for the smooth running of government. There is a small but genuine risk that the non-availability of councillors of state could impede the operation of the Constitution. It could certainly make the day-to-day running of government much more tricky. The councillors of state are a plan B from a constitutional point of view, but what happens when plan B isn't quite ideal? The Queen may look to add the Duchess of Cornwall, who would become a councillor of state when Charles is king anyway. Or they could go down the line to Princesses Beatrice or Eugenie, or add more members of the family, like Princess Anne or Prince Edward, to the list. A source close to the palace said, "This is a constitutional headache. With an aging monarch there are talks about what will happen if the Queen is unable to work for some reason. You can't have Andrew and Harry do it and Charles and William are extremely busy." Royal commentator Jonathan Sacerdoti reflected on both Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and the royal family speaking on climate change. Mr. Sacerdoti did note that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had to be more careful as they have faced criticism for the use of private jets while asking people to reduce their carbon footprint. He noted that the royal family will ensure that their own actions would not compromise their message overall. Mr. Sacerdoti said, "It is an issue that is obviously widely held as important by society. It is not dangerous for the royals to talk about climate change. It is pretty commonly accepted as being a good idea by those on the left and right in all layers of society. But they still do need to be careful. This is especially true when you see things like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry talking about these issues. But this is while having taken all of these private jets that they have been flying in. The royal family are going to be undoubtedly more careful than that. They will make sure that their own individual actions are not seen as compromising the message they are spreading." The royal expert concluded by reflecting on Prince Charles and his tendency to be outspoken on climate change issues. He said, "I don't think there is necessarily an issue with Prince Charles talking about the environment. Obviously one might give him a bit of flack for it, saying that he is remote and distant, which I suppose that is what some people are saying, but I don't think that is the case at all. I think that he has been a champion of this cause for a very long time, so why stop?" Mr. Sacerdoti also highlighted that he was aware of some of the viewpoints the public were forming about Prince Charles and his constant talk about the importance of the climate. He said, "When it comes to climate change, for Prince Charles it is an issue he has always found to be very important. They have made a lot, in the palace, of his early adoption of this as a cause. I suppose the risk for the royal family is that talking about changing our lifestyle and effectively restructuring our society and economy in ways that might be better for the planet by the movement of eco-change might be seen as a wealthy man's luxury.